Hello everyone! We have a new moon coming up this week, so we're going to do some new moon messages. Now we have pile 1, 2, and 3. If you'd like to stick around for a second while you choose your deck to hear a little bit about this new moon, go ahead and keep listening now. Otherwise, feel free to jump to your reading. Now, this new moon will be in Virgo. It will be in right at the third section, decan of Virgo. There is also Mercury retrograde in Virgo. It will be starting to station, just about to go direct. There is a lot happening right at the nodes at this time, and I feel like they are being really prominently noticed because of this in conjunction coming off of the new moon to the north node and Chiron. There's a lot of this kind of blocked or bound energy to our life paths and where we're going, especially our trauma and healing journeys. And I think anytime Chiron is involved, it feels very pronounced in our lives because it's such a vulnerable space that we're working from during Chiron transits. As we move through this new moon energy, I think we're going to be coming up on a lot of deep-seated feelings, deep urges for growth and recovery, especially with this trine from the new moon over to Jupiter and Uranus. I think there might be kind of a shake-up feeling and this spontaneous blossoming or growth, or it could be, if something is necessary, that there will be a big shakeup and a negative outcome or a negative situation arising to shake you into a space that will be more healing for you in the long run. It's about a big harmonious flow of energy, a lot of great flow of energy between this spot in Virgo where the new moon is and this spot in Taurus with the Jupiter and Uranus retrograde placements. They are both making another trine up to Pluto in Capricorn, which is also retrograde. We have a lot of retrograde energy happening right now. We will have just finished Venus retrograde, thankfully. But a lot of this grand trine triggering a shift, a big, maybe even spontaneous shift, a big change. It's not necessarily going to be a surprise to you, but with Uranus, you never fully know. I do feel like this is all going to be up-leveling at the end of the day, so keep that in mind. I don't want to make anybody anxious. There's another grand trine coming off of the South Node at the time to Vesta and Saturn retrograde with Ceres on and Haumea on the South Node. And I think there's this kind of watery, airy, because it's on there's a grand trine happening on the cusp of all water and air signs, of kind of re-grounding, settling into what we really feel devoted to and where we feel safe and where we feel like there's opportunity to growth around us where we're still comfortable. It's really related to the past on the South Node, so you'll probably be kind of plucking things from your past that made you feel comfortable and bringing them into your path now, integrated them into your next movements forward to facilitate that major shift in healing journey. So that's it for our astro section, but I wanted to incorporate a little bit of that for this reading. Let me know if you guys are interested in hearing more of that. We're going to light this new moon intention candle I was given as a gift. Thank you so much. I really love it. We're going to set good intentions collectively with this candle. If you would like to focus some energy on the flame to do so, go ahead now. I'm holding it for you all to do this. We'll take a few deep breaths and release our intentions out into the world through the flame, and this will be burning here in the background for you. Let's get started. Hello, pile number one. Welcome to your reading. We have some other decks that wanted to come out to play, so you might have noticed some movement in the background. Let's get into it though. First, we have Three of Wands reversed coming out. I just love these iridescent cards. I have to take a moment to do this. Sorry if you don't like it. We have another iridescent one. The opportunity is approaching reverse. We have the Scorpio card, the 7th house card, and the Sagittarius card. So this makes me think something going on maybe on the Scorpio and Sagittarius cusp, right in between there for you on your chart. And if your 7th house is there, whew, you got a very specific reading, didn't you, today? But also look to where the 7th house will be at the time of the new moon itself. When I'm looking at the chart for my time zone, my area, the 7th house cusp lands in Libra, right with the nodes. So look to your chart, but also look to see if there are any aspects, anything interesting going on in the 7th house related to the new moon for you, or Scorpio or Sagittarius. If you want to look at your chart, highly recommend that for this reading. It will give you much more specifics. You also have Stand Your Ground reversed. So right away I'm getting some hits about something you've been wanting to create, getting the right opportunity to do so, really wanting to like dig deep into this, very Scorpio energy, and like create. It's a lot of that sacral creation energy. Obviously, sacral space is very sexual, but it also brings forth new life. It's very creation oriented as well. Then Sagittarius wants to go far with things, wants to take a journey and take it further. I'm like at a loss for words, so you know how I am. I feel like there is something that you've been like just urging to do, edging to do, ready to go do, but maybe there's something blocking you. And I feel like that block is going to be related to you not sticking up for yourself as much as you ought to be, you underselling yourself or not advocating for yourself quite enough, or letting people push you around. Like I really just got this image of being kind of in a circle of people, and then you trying to explain your idea or your process and them literally shoving you around, like you losing your footing, I saw the feet like getting pushed or shuffled on the floor by being shoved around. So I feel like there's something that is really important to you and will be a really great activity or project or venture for you to embark on. But this block is really becoming a hang-up. I do think that this card, speaking to your ground, says a lot about this Virgo new moon, specifically, with it having to do with the details and the routine and the work, the small efforts over a prolonged amount of time, like really adding up. There's this earth energy involved where you kind of have to stay grounded. Virgo is great at staying grounded. They are always tending to the ground in a way. A lot of it is seen, this energy is seen as like a harvest at the end of the year. It hits that time of year. There's this tending to the soil and planting and growing, sowing the seeds, and it can be with your intentions. It could be literal seeds. It's a lot of this energy of growth, growing, kind of tending, caring for something over a longer amount of time, and then reaching the end of it and seeing it come to life, really come all together at the end. But if you're not standing your ground, you're not even able to start that process, is what I'm feeling right now. Feels like you keep trying to get going, you try to get started, and the opportunity, it can't come in how you want. It's fully being blocked. I feel like similar with this Three of Wands, and it's related to, I think, a group of people where you are coming together to do something, but it's just not working out. And it's unfortunate how expectations can become destroyed. And it seems like you're really trying to work with it. You're really trying to get it to move forward, because these two sign energies really want to propel something forward to happen. Kind of inner workings behind the scenes, and just kind of like going for it. Taking flight, like Sagittarius. There's just this, the passion is gonna die if it doesn't get resolved soon. There's got to be something that has to change to prevent this creation from being just stopped altogether. I think that if there's something major that you keep thinking like, oh, well, if this was going to happen, then this would have to happen, and that's just crazy. Like, that just won't work. That's just going to, none of it, like, yeah, there's a lot of things that people say to, like, write off what they really want to make happen, and sometimes they're very reasonable, and they are a hard block, and it's not going to resolve right away, but it seems like this new moon is trying to insist for you that the energy coming in with this new moon will allow something major enough to shift to make this work for you. It might be something through the 7th house, like through shadow work, or through a one-on-one relationship you have with somebody. It's a house of partnerships, so it could be your literal, like, boyfriend, girlfriend, they friend. Like, it could be someone who is just kind of around you a lot, like a best friend or a business partner, or just a coworker where you've gotten kind of close. Or, there's a lot of situations where you end up having these partnerships with people. So it could come through in that way, in a beneficial way. It could also be showing that the block is connected to that person, if it is a person. So it might be that you have to switch something up in that relationship. Just like how if it's shadow work, you might have to put in effort in that shadow work to switch things up for yourself. And then lastly, for the 7th house energy, it could be something more judicial, like a courtroom legal situation. So I'm hoping the best for you guys. It seems like there is hope for you for this new moon. I really am excited for everybody to go through this experience and go through this up-leveling shift. Remember to go with the energies. Let me pull your affirmation card really quick, and we'll wrap this up. Okay, you have a few affirmation cards I'm feeling in the deck. I think the new moon wants to give you extra encouragement. That's what I just heard. Extra encouragement. So great. Awesome. You have a bunch. Ready? I choose to learn through love. I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with eyes of love. The more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. I find deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. And the universe works fast when I'm having fun. It does. It does. You're supposed to be enjoying your life as much as you can. While you're manifesting, it will help. All right. Happy new moon, everybody. I'll see you next time. Welcome, deck 2. This is your reading messages from the new moon. We have a Four of Wands reversed. We have to take a moment for each of the iridescent cards, okay? We just have to. We have It's a Hard No on This reversed. Another iridescent card. We have It Is Time to Forge a New Path. This one? Really high energy on it right now. I'm not sure what's going on. Waning Gibbous Moon and Hygeia. Sorry for the brief pause there. We have a very interesting message here, especially coming from the new moon, and it's referencing the waxing gibbous moon. When we get something like this, I tend to feel like it is a timing thing. So it's going to be something starting from the new moon and kind of stretching out over a period of time until the waning gibbous moon. So if we look to when that's happening, I will check the date for you guys since this is more of a timed reading. I wouldn't normally, but for this I will. So the new moon is on the 14th. We have the full moon on the 29th. And then we get the waning gibbous phase technically on October 2nd around 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let me switch back to the regular chart. So something that takes a little bit of a longer period of time. With Hygeia, I feel like this is going to make sense because Hygeia has a lot to do with preventative medicine. It's health and healing, but more in a preventative way. Like you are trying to prevent the illness to even be contracted in the first place, you know, things like that. Or if you know that, well, if you're like me and you eat too much dairy, you're going to have a breakout. It could be even just daily routines such as that, like looking into your day-to-day life and thinking, okay, well, am I drinking enough water? Am I getting my heart rate up? Am I doing, you know, XYZ, whatever, fill in the blank for yourself and your personal needs. There is already a theme with Virgo in health and checking in on yourself, tending to yourself, caring for yourself. Those day-to-day rhythms are really important, especially in health for Virgo. And then to get Hygeia, I just think, yeah. So by the time the waning gibbous moon hits, by October 2nd, you should really be feeling the effects of these preventative measures that you're going to be taking. And I feel like this, whatever this is, it's something that you kind of know about at least a little bit, or you suspect it maybe. I don't think this is a full surprise for you, but it may be for, I'm hearing for a few of you, a few. I heard few percentage, so like, what, 30%? Like, like, I don't know. A few of you, it may be a sudden surprise. There is like a big Uranus transit happening, but I think a lot of you suspect something, or you have an idea already, like, oh, well, I haven't been doing this thing that I need to do to prevent this problem, and I can feel it coming, or this will be the day that it starts coming if, if it doesn't. Probably the waning gibbous moon day. Like, this is almost not like a warning, but like a caring message from the new moon. Like, hey, you need to start this on the new moon, or by the waning gibbous moon, things are going to be much more difficult for you. It feels like a really caring message from your guides. Or in You know what I'm saying? Um, it's all coordinating, okay? So the Four of Wands reversed, coming through reverse, it's a big block for this celebration or something that you could have created and could have been just enjoying by now, but there's something that is delaying it. It's saying it's a hard no on this. It's very can't celebrate yet. You got to wait on something. You got to make sure all your ducks in a row are in row first. You got to make sure it feels like your health needs to be aligned before you can really get to appreciate and enjoy what you've created for yourself or what is coming for you right now. It feels kind of like if your boss was like, hey, we're going to take a great trip to go do this really exciting thing, and you weren't physically able enough to go do it. Or something like great comes to you, but you're feeling too lousy to go have it. So anyway, there's a hard no on this reverse. It feels like this one it's kind of a sarcastic vibe to it. You know what I mean? It feels like it could be a hard no. Like you think it's a hard no. Like, well, there's no hope for me. Like I think people get really. It feels like when people get hopeless about something that is totally within their span of action. Like, well, I guess my laundry's got to stay on the floor for the next millennia. Like, you could definitely go put that away. You know what I mean? So there's something that you can turn this around and make it be a no, like, but it's more of a mindset thing. Like it feels like this is a fake no. Like it's not a real no. Like you can actually make this work. So they want you to acknowledge that your mindset's going to play a big role in this. There's a lot of not to speak to anything very specific because it's the broad audience, but there's usually someone who has it worse off than you and someone that has found a way to wrap their mind around it where they're able to keep going and keep pushing forward. So maybe there's some new ways that you can start to think about something, some small actions you can start to take over time that will build up, which is very Virgo. This card, again, it is time to forge a new path. You got to start doing something new on this new moon. That's your main message, and it's probably about your health. So I'm going to pull your affirmation card for this reading, and we will wrap it up. Okay, you have a couple. The affirmation cards have been so generous lately. They're like, more. Give them more. More. Okay. I am loving the energy of the universe. I'm loving the energy of the universe. The universe oh my god. The universe works fast when I'm having fun. And when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a great new moon. Welcome, deck 3, to your reading. We have messages from the new moon for you right now. First, we have the 8 of Coins. Look at these iridescent cards. I love them. We have the 3 of Swords. Reversed. I'm going to run out of room on this reading. 4 of Swords reversed. We have Neptune and Cancer reversed. We have compassion in this time for yourself and others reversed. And look for the overflow of abundance reversed. And lastly, chill out. This last card literally just chill the fuck out. Chill out, please. There's a lot of feelings, like chaos. It feels like um, just this chaotic, like spinning of emotions and feelings, like where I don't feel like you're fully in a daze, like a Neptunian, like hazy trance, like a dream. It feels more like it's just hard to tell which way is up. It's just hard to tell exactly what's going on. Things are like blurry from the spinning. Like it feels like there's just so many feelings going on and rushing around. It's just throwing you off, like fully throwing you off. Um, and looking for the overflow of abundance, there's a major problem there. I feel like these are really identifying two of the major issues that this new moon wants you to focus on for this new moon, or it wants to address. I'm hearing address. Look for the overflow of abundance reverse. So there's something where you feel like you shouldn't look for the overflow of abundance. There's something maybe with a money mindset that you need to focus on or adjust, readdress, reanalyze with yourself. It feels like there is a good option, but you don't even want to look at it for some reason. The other one that says have compassion in this time for yourself and others, where it feels like you know like you should be caring more, you're just not right now. Maybe it's because of the emotional chaos. Like it's just one more thing that's getting kind of swept away during this time. I feel like there's this feeling of it being like annoying to try to be compassionate right now, or it feeling like a burden to have to be compassionate on top of everything else. Like it's just maybe you're kind of at your wit's end with how everything is going. Like it's so whirlwindy feeling right now. If you can find a way, like this says, to chill out. And I know I hear a lot of you already like rolling your eyes, like, oh, I wish, like, like then these. But the idea is that then these would be less of an issue, right? Because then you'd be willing to be like, oh yeah, well, here's my option for things to get better, and I'll start gravitating towards that, and I'll start being nice to myself, caring to myself, like I know I need to be, and I'd be like nice to everyone around me because I care about them and I love them. But it's just so much right now. It feels like you're not able to calm down enough to, or you haven't been able to calm down enough to get in a better place with these things. As we look at more into the tarot cards, I feel like you gotta move stuff. You had more cards than any of the other decks today, and so now my momentum is thrown off a little bit. So the Eight of Coins, the Eight of Pentacles coming through shows that there's something going on with not wanting to get distracted by the drama. You're not trying to get into all of this stuff right now, you know? You really want to be making substantial progress in what you're working on. You don't want to get wrapped up in other things that's gonna throw you off course. You don't want to get off track. You are really focused on staying away from anything that might drain life force or distract you from what's most important. But again, seems like that is what's happening at the end of the day, and maybe that's a little bit hard to acknowledge when you're like, well, I'm really trying. Like I feel that. I feel like you are really trying, but you are also still getting thrown off course. Let's see. You have another 4. Oh no, sorry, this was an 8. Yeah, this one is really, like I think I'm getting caught up in your stuff right now. There being 2 swords and 1 pentacles, I feel like, and all this kind of like watery situation, I feel like there's something going on with you where it's throwing your emotions in this crazy whirlwind space. Your mind is trying to play tricks or trying to strategize to keep up with all of this, and maybe it's even contributing to some of the whirlwind. But then it's starting to reflect back in your physical life, in the things actually around you, where you're putting your effort. Maybe it's coming through as like financial health, could be just with things getting broken a lot. It's coming through in the physical world too around you. It's not only in the mental space anymore. It's not just in the emotional space anymore. It's kind of bringing all of these things together. I still feel like you have a lot of firepower, though. I'm not getting a lot of, maybe you're tired and drained, but it doesn't feel like that's a big issue altogether. It feels like it's this stuff. It's the feelings and the mind space, the thoughts and the mentality of it. There's this kind of block, like an aching feeling, like maybe you're thinking this isn't going to go away. There's this kind of you've experienced this. It feels like leftovers for this part of the reading. Like it's like negative feelings left over from some kind of loss or suffering. I'm also hearing like breakup. It could be to do with any kind of like traumatizing thing. I think how this new moon relates with Chiron brings this up for a lot of people right now, where you're kind of addressing traumas that have come and gone, but there's still remnants of them in the psyche. It's having a hard time moving on from the pain, sitting on the swords instead of finding something to heal the wounds. That's the idea. Then you have this Four of Swords reversed as well, and this can reflect kind of, I feel like this tends to go two ways from my readings, where you've stayed too long in this quiet healing space. You really like refuse to get back to your life. You refuse to return back to reality. Where if you had a physical injury and you had to go to the hospital to recover for a while, and then at the end of it you were like, I'm not leaving this hospital, it would be a problem. You don't need to be there anymore. It's time to go. It's time to go back to doing all of your things, It's the same way, but this feels like it's more of a mental thing going on, more of an emotional process you're trying to work through, and you've really gotten stuck in that space. Sometimes it can also show you being forced to return back to the rest period, even though you were trying to get out of it. Like it is time to rest. For some of you, this message is opposite, which I know can be confusing for general reading. But for some of you, it's the opposite message, where it's like you cut your healing time short for one reason or another, one way or another, and it's time to revisit that. It may be the last time, it may not be. But either way, I think this general message has a lot to do with just addressing, maybe even just confirming that these feelings are happening for you, and you are really getting thrown off, even though you really almost hate to admit that. I think there is a little resistance I'm feeling with this, especially with getting the chill out card. Like, they wouldn't be telling you to chill out if so take your chill pills for this new moon, guys. There is a nice shift of energy coming in for this new moon, and I think that it's going to help you realize exactly what you need to do to get where you want to be. I would really spend some time out on this new moon, kind of meditating on what that might be, or looking for the answer around this time. Any kind of synchronicities that start showing up around this new moon, I feel like are going to be related to this reading, get this message. So let's do your affirmation cards and we will wrap this up, okay? We have, happiness is my birthright. You deserve to be happy. You have, When I think I've surrendered, I surrender more. Then, oh, 2 surrender cards. I surrender to a powder. I surrender to a power greater than me. I'm feeling one more in here. I am the loving energy of the universe. I am the loving energy of the universe. I feel like I've never seen this card before. Thank you so much for listening. Check back for our next pick a card reading. I will see you soon. Bye.